You know, I've never understood that term really, movie star. I've always just felt like I'm an actor. That's, I think, a term for other people rather than for me.
You know what? Just one more movie. One more movie.
He'll do it.
What if I told you some of Hollywood's richest stars live like they're broke? Forget mansions, designer clothes, and fleets of luxury cars. These actors clip coupons, shop at thrift stores, and drive beat-up old cars. It's almost hard to believe, but it's true. While their peers flaunt million-dollar lifestyles, these celebrities seem to have skipped the Hollywood playbook entirely. Let's dive into the surprising lives of Hollywood's most frugal millionaires. You won't believe who's on this list. Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, but his life might shock you. With a net worth of $380 million in 2024, he could live in mansions, drive flashy cars, and surround himself with luxury. Instead, he chooses a life that's simple and humble. His down-to-earth nature comes from his tough beginnings. His father left when he was just 3, and his family struggled, moving from place to place. Life was never stable, and those early years taught him the value of living without excess. As he grew older, tragedy struck again and again. He lost his best friend, River Phoenix, and later his partner, Jennifer Syme. Through it all, Reeves learned a painful truth. Money can't protect you from heartbreak. Even with his fame, Reeves lives like an everyday person. He doesn't own a giant mansion. He lives in a modest apartment. He drives a simple Honda instead of a luxury car. He's been spotted eating sandwiches alone on park benches, and he even takes the subway, where he's been seen giving up his seat to strangers. These small moments of kindness show just how grounded he is. But Keanu's generosity goes far beyond the simple life he leads. After The Matrix became a global hit, he gave away around $80 million of his earnings to the special effects and costume teams, people he felt deserved more recognition. He also set up a private foundation to donate millions to children's hospitals and cancer research. What's amazing is that he keeps these acts of kindness quiet, never seeking praise for them. Reeves has often said that money isn't what matters to him. "I've made a lot of money, but I want to enjoy life and not stress about building my bank account," he once shared. "I give lots away and live simply." And he means it. He spends his time focusing on what truly matters, helping others, sharing moments with people, and staying grounded. Even in his work, Keanu is known for his humility. He treats everyone on set, from crew members to co-stars, with the same respect. During the filming of The Replacements, he gave up part of his salary so that Gene Hackman, a legendary actor, could join the cast. In a world where fame and wealth often lead to excess, Reeves shows that true success isn't about material things. Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence seems to have it all. Blockbuster movies, Oscar, and net worth of $160 million. With accolades like these, you might expect a life filled with luxury and extravagance. But here's the twist. Despite her massive success, Jennifer Lawrence lives a life so modest, it's almost shocking for someone of her stature. Lawrence's love for simplicity comes from her upbringing. Raised in a family that valued hard work and money, she learned early on to respect every dollar. "I was raised to have value for money, even if you have a lot of it," she once said. This mindset stuck with her, even as she became one of the highest-paid actresses in the world. You'd expect someone with her fortune to live in a huge, glamorous home, but Lawrence kept it humble. For years, she lived in a small condo in Los Angeles. At the height of her fame, she joked, "I have $10 million, and I'm still living in my parents' condo." It wasn't that she couldn't afford luxury, she just didn't see the point. When it came to cars, she drove a Volkswagen EOS for years, a modest ride that looked more fitting for a college student than a Hollywood A-lister. Even in her everyday life, Lawrence keeps things frugal. She's a fan of bargain shopping and loves finding deals at supermarkets. She's even joked about refusing to pay for overpriced minibar snacks in hotels, saying, "Yes, I can afford a $6 Snickers bar, but there's something wrong with that." While many celebrities indulge in fine dining, Lawrence prefers fast food. During a red carpet interview at the Oscars, she casually ordered McDonald's, proving she's just as happy with a burger and fries as she is with a fancy meal. Her down-to-earth attitude is one of the reasons fans love her. Lawrence has stayed true to herself, even as her fame skyrocketed. Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio has fought bears in The Revenant, sunk with the Titanic, and walked Wall Street as a roaring billionaire. But in real life, this Hollywood giant doesn't live like the characters he plays. With a net worth of $300 million, DiCaprio could surround himself with yachts, sports cars, and glittering mansions. Instead, his real story is about humility, simplicity, and a mission to save the planet. DiCaprio's lifestyle is shockingly modest, especially for someone of his stature. He drives cars like the Toyota Prius and Tesla, choosing sustainability over speed or flash. While he owns properties, he approaches real estate with care, aligning his purchases with his environmental principles. One of his most remarkable investments? Blackador Cay, a private island in Belize. But he didn't buy it for parties or retreats. Instead, he's transforming it into an eco-resort dedicated to conservation and sustainable living. A project that perfectly captures his philosophy. His commitment to the planet goes far beyond his personal choices. DiCaprio has been a passionate environmental advocate for decades. In 1998, he launched the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, which has since donated over $80 million to causes like protecting wildlife, conserving forests, and combating climate change. He's produced hard-hitting documentaries like Before the Flood and Cowspiracy, using his voice to raise awareness about the urgent need to act. But DiCaprio doesn't stop there. He puts his money where his beliefs are by investing in sustainable companies like Beyond Meat and Califia Farms, which are revolutionizing the way we think about food. For him, wealth isn't just about luxury. It's a tool for making the world better. "I don't see money as something that makes my life better," he once said. "I see it as something that enables me to do what I love." DiCaprio also uses his fame to reach global audiences. From delivering powerful speeches at the United Nations to standing alongside scientists and activists, he constantly reminds the world of its responsibility to protect the planet. Tiffany Haddish. Imagine a red carpet regular who proudly re-wears her dresses, shops with Groupons, and lives by a $500 a month budget. Yes, this Girls Trip star is redefining what it means to make it in Hollywood by showing that success doesn't have to mean excess. With a net worth of $6 million, Haddish's life isn't about lavish spending. It's about lessons learned, gratitude, and giving back. Haddish's frugal lifestyle is deeply tied to her past. Her journey to stardom was marked by homelessness, instability, and financial struggles. She's often spoken about those tough times, sharing how they shaped her careful approach to money. "I don't want to go back to being homeless," she said, and that fear drives her decisions to this day. Early on, Haddish learned the value of saving and planning for the future, skills she now champions for others. "Get your money to work for you, instead of you working for the money," she advises, turning hard-earned wisdom into life lessons. Even after her breakthrough in Girls Trip, Haddish stayed true to her budgeting habits. Instead of splurging on luxury items, she used her earnings to buy a home and paid it off as quickly as possible. To achieve this, she lived on just $500 a month, proving that even in Hollywood, it's possible to put financial stability first. Her choices, like re-wearing a $4,000 white Alexander McQueen dress on multiple red carpets, speak to her practical mindset and her desire to avoid waste. But Haddish's story isn't just about saving money. It's also about using it to help others. She's passionate about giving back, especially to foster youth. Through her She Ready Foundation, she supports kids transitioning out of the foster care system, providing resources and opportunities she wished she'd had. Her philanthropy isn't a flashy headline. It's a deeply personal mission that reflects her gratitude for where she is today. Cillian Murphy. Cillian Murphy might be one of the most recognizable faces in Hollywood, but you'd probably walk past him on the street without realizing it. Unlike the flashy, over-the-top lives of many stars, Murphy's life is refreshingly ordinary, almost shockingly so. Imagine the sharp-suited, razor-sharp Tommy Shelby of Peaky Blinders. Yet in reality, he's just a guy in a hoodie, taking the train, and living in a modest home in Dublin. For someone with a $20 million net worth and roles in some of Hollywood's biggest films, his quiet, no-frills existence feels like the ultimate plot twist. Unlike many actors who move to Los Angeles, Murphy has stayed in his home country of Ireland. He lives in a modest house in Dublin with his wife and 2 kids, far from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. For Murphy, home isn't about luxury. It's about being close to his roots and raising his family in a normal, peaceful way. Murphy also avoids the celebrity lifestyle that so many stars embrace. He doesn't like red carpets or big Hollywood parties, and rarely does interviews unless he has to. Fame, for him, is just a byproduct of doing what he loves: acting. He once said he'd rather focus on his work than the noise that comes with being a star. It's this down-to-earth attitude that makes him stand out in an industry often obsessed with attention. Even his spending habits show how grounded he is. While many actors drive flashy cars or wear expensive outfits, Murphy prefers simple clothes and has been spotted taking public transportation. For a man who starred in blockbuster hits like Inception and the Dark Knight trilogy, his lifestyle is surprisingly humble. But what really sets Murphy apart is how he views his own success. He's uncomfortable with his wealth and openly admits it. "I'm just an actor," he once said. "There are people out there, doctors, nurses, doing real work. Sometimes I feel embarrassed by how much I earn." His Catholic upbringing has left him with what he calls Catholic guilt, making him feel like he doesn't deserve his success. Yet, he remains grateful for what he has, using his fortune to provide for his family without overindulging. Ed Sheeran. Imagine this: a man worth $200 million, still using his old student bank account, giving himself a budget of $1,000 a month, and spending most of it on taxis. It's almost hard to believe, but that's Ed Sheeran, a star who could have it all but chooses to keep life simple. Despite earning millions from chart-topping hits and sold-out stadiums, Sheeran's approach to money is refreshingly modest. He still lives on a small allowance, and once explained, "If I had all my money in one account, I'd spend it all, so I give myself an allowance." He even refused to upgrade from his student account at Barclays, seeing it as a way to keep his spending in check. It's a habit that surprises many, especially in an industry where extravagance is the norm. For Sheeran, money isn't a way to show off. It's a tool to help others and enjoy life's small pleasures. He's donated over £1 million to local charities in his hometown of Suffolk, supporting causes like children's hospices and hospital wards. "As soon as it comes in, it goes out," he once said about his earnings, proving that he values generosity over accumulation. Even when he does spend, it's on things that reflect his personality rather than luxury. After long tours, he's been known to unwind by binge-watching DVDs, once buying 200 films from Amazon in one go. And while he owns multiple properties, including a sprawling Suffolk estate nicknamed Sheeranville, it's more about privacy and comfort than showing off wealth. Sheeran's views on money are deeply personal. He's candid about how wealth has affected his relationships, once admitting, "Money is the root of all evil. I've lost more friends since I found money than ever before." This honesty shows why he's so careful with how he uses his fortune. It's about staying grounded and keeping his circle genuine. Sarah Jessica Parker. Sarah Jessica Parker may be the glamorous Carrie Bradshaw on Sex and the City, but here's a twist you probably didn't see coming. In real life, she clips coupons, shops secondhand, and lives with a level of practicality that's rare for a Hollywood icon. With a net worth of $200 million, Parker could indulge in endless luxury, but instead, she sticks to values rooted in her modest upbringing. And that's what truly makes her stand out. Parker's frugality comes from her childhood in Cincinnati, Ohio, where she grew up as one of 8 children in a family with limited financial means. Her mother's careful approach to money deeply influenced her. Reflecting on those early years, Parker once said, "I like to withhold things from my children. I think they should yearn for things." This mindset shapes how she manages her own wealth today, teaching her kids the same lessons about patience and value that she learned as a child. Even now, Parker is surprisingly thrifty. She loves vintage fashion and often shops at thrift stores, not just for herself, but for her son, too. After learning about poor labor conditions in the fashion industry, she committed to buying secondhand, showing her ethical side along with her financial mindfulness. Parker has even admitted to taking Bed Bath & Beyond coupons sticking out of her neighbors' mailboxes, a habit she humorously shared with fans. Parker's lifestyle, while far from extravagant, is practical and family-oriented. She and her husband, Matthew Broderick, own several properties, including a $34.5 million townhouse in New York City. But their real estate choices aren't about flaunting wealth, they're strategic, driven by what's best for their family. When it comes to transportation, Parker keeps things functional, steering clear of the flashy cars many celebrities favor. Her grounded perspective on money extends to her philosophy about life. "I think it's good to pine for something," she once said, "so that when you get it, it has such meaning." This belief doesn't just guide how she spends, it's how she raises her children, ensuring they understand the value of hard work and waiting for what they truly want. Kristen Bell. Kristen Bell might be one of the most charming stars in Hollywood, but what if I told you she's also one of its biggest penny pinchers? Imagine a millionaire actress who proudly admits to swiping Bed Bath & Beyond coupons from neighbors' mailboxes and spending just $142 on her wedding. Sounds too down-to-earth to be true, right? But this is Kristen Bell, a star who proves that even with a $40 million net worth, frugality can be fabulous. One of Bell's most surprising quirks is her love for couponing. In a 2012 interview, she confessed to occasionally snagging coupons sticking out of her neighbors' mailboxes while walking her dogs. "I wouldn't do it in the dark of night," she joked. But her enthusiasm for a good deal is no joke. Her frugality doesn't stop there. When she married actor Dax Shepard, The couple spent just $142 on the entire wedding, including gas to get to the courthouse. No extravagant gowns, no A-list guest lists, just a simple, meaningful day. This practicality comes from her upbringing. Bell credits her dad for teaching her how to save and live within her means. "My dad taught me to be frugal and save," she said, adding that this financial wisdom gives her freedom. "I don't want to have to take an acting job for 2 or 3 years if I don't want to." That financial independence is built on small, everyday habits that keep her grounded. Bell's grocery shopping is another example of her thoughtful spending. She and Shepard shop daily, focusing on fresh and affordable local produce. While many think eating organic is expensive, Bell insists there are ways to make it work. "People think it's so pricey, but there are ways to do it that save money," she's explained, making healthy eating approachable and relatable even for those without Hollywood paychecks. Her frugality even extends to parenting. When her kids waste things like shampoo, she doesn't just replace it, she turns it into a teaching moment. "If we waste stuff, Mommy has to work more hours to buy more," she tells them. It's a practical, honest lesson about money and work, ensuring her kids grow up with the same sense of responsibility that she did. But Bell's modest habits don't mean she's stingy. She and Shepard are passionate philanthropists, using their resources to give back. They even launched Hello Bello, a line of affordable plant-based baby products to help parents access high-quality essentials without breaking the bank. Ludacris. Ludacris is known for his hits in music and his roles in The Fast and the Furious. But here's something you might not expect. His favorite car isn't a high-speed supercar, but a 1993 Acura Legend. While many celebrities fill their garages with luxury vehicles, Ludacris still drives the same car he bought at the start of his career. For him, this car isn't just transportation. It's a symbol of where he came from and what matters most. The Acura Legend was the first car Ludacris bought when his career was just taking off in the mid-1990s. It wasn't just a ride. It became a workspace, a place where he wrote parts of 3 of his albums. When the car was totaled in an accident, most people would have replaced it. Instead, Ludacris had it restored by Acura to its original glory, with a few modern updates like a new sound system. This isn't about nostalgia. It's a reminder of his humble beginnings and the journey to success. Even though Ludacris has a $30 million net worth and could buy any car he wants, he holds on to the Acura Legend. It's a choice that shows his grounded perspective. "No matter how much money I ever get, I'm going to want to provide for my family and never have to go back to really struggling," he said. That simple mindset keeps him focused on what truly matters: security and gratitude. Ludacris's modesty extends beyond cars. He channels his success into helping others through the Ludacris Foundation, which supports education and youth programs. His approach to wealth isn't about showing off. It's about giving back and creating opportunities for others. Ashley Greene. Ashley Greene is one of the few Hollywood stars who could walk into a thrift store and not just blend in, but actually be shopping for herself. Yes, the actress who rose to fame as Alice Cullen in the Twilight Saga, part of a billion-dollar franchise, still uses coupons, shops second-hand, and prefers practicality over luxury. With an $8 million net worth, Greene's lifestyle isn't just surprising, it's proof that fame doesn't have to mean excess. When Twilight made her a household name at 20, Greene was suddenly thrust into a world of glitz, where spending big is the norm. But instead of getting caught up in the Hollywood whirlwind, she kept her feet firmly on the ground. Reflecting on those early years, she admitted, I became the person everyone wanted me to be. But over time, she learned to focus on who she truly was. And that person wasn't about flashy cars or designer wardrobes. What's shocking is how Greene's frugality shows up in her everyday life. She's known to clip coupons and isn't shy about grabbing deals at thrift stores or discount retailers. Her choices aren't just about saving money. They reflect a conscious decision to live simply, even in an industry that thrives on appearances. In a world where stars flaunt excess, Greene's modest habits stand out. Even her housing decisions reflect this mindset. While many actors live in sprawling mansions, Greene's real estate choices are relatively modest. It's not about making headlines, it's about living comfortably without overindulgence. And when it comes to getting around, she's been spotted driving practical cars and occasionally even taking public transportation. It's a far cry from the luxury lifestyles most associate with Hollywood elites. What sets Greene apart isn't just her frugality. It's her work ethic and refusal to rely solely on her Twilight fame. She's taken on roles that challenge her and prove her talent, rather than cashing in on the blockbuster franchise's success. "I wanted to figure out who I was and what I wanted," she said. And that determination shows in the thoughtful way she approaches her career.